Hello, my name is Dr. Steele, and welcome to Steele Mathematics, where lessons in Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, Pre-Calculus, and Calculus are taught. And today, I'm going to introduce you to imaginary numbers. Now, what exactly is an imaginary number? Well, an imaginary number is denoted by I, which is equal to the square root of -1. Now, you cannot really take the square root of a negative number. That's why they call it an imaginary number. So this is the definition, and this is the rule. I squared equals -1. Now I'm going to show you some examples of how to use the definition of imaginary numbers to simplify the square root of negative numbers. Let's say you are to simplify the square root of -4. As we know, -1 times 4 is -4, so the square root of -1 times the square root of 4. The square root of -1 is I. So now you see where the I comes from. So in the other three examples, I'm going to skip this stuff and just turn the negative inside into an I on the outside. Now the square root of 4 is 2. So the solution is 2I. Next, we got the square root of -7, which can be rewritten as I times the square root of 7. And you cannot take the square root of 7 or simplify it. Therefore, this is going to be your solution. We have the square root of -169. Which would be rewritten as I times the square root of 169. The square root of 169 is 13. Therefore, the solution is 13I. On number 4, we got the square root of -80. We can rewrite it as I times the square root of 80. The square root of 80 can be written as the square root of 16 times the square root of 5. The square root of 16 is 4, therefore we have 4I, but we can't take the square root of 5, so 5 stays inside. Therefore, the solution is 4I times the square root of 5. So next, I'm going to show you how to find powers of I. And I'm just going to go ahead and give you a cheat code. If the remainder of n divided by 4 is 0, then I to the nth power is 1. If the remainder of n divided by 4 is 1, then I to the nth power is I. If the remainder of n divided by 4 is 2, then I to the nth power is -1. And if the remainder of n divided by 4 is 3, then I to the nth power is -I. So when you raise I to a power, you will either get 1, I, -1, or -I. So let's look at some examples. Let's say you have I to the 12th. I'm going to do my long division. 4 goes to the 12th 3 times with no remainder. Therefore, I to the 12th is 1. Next, we have I to the 27th. 4 goes into 27 6 times. 6 times 4 is 24. 27 minus 24 is 3. So as you can see, the remainder is 3. Therefore, I to the 27th power is negative I. I to the 30th, 4 goes into 30 7 times. 4 times 7 is 28, and the remainder is 2. So as you can see, the remainder is 2. Therefore, I to the 30th power is negative 1. But let's say I has a coefficient, 5i squared. Well, we already know that I squared is negative 1. Therefore, 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. Next, we have 10i to the 17th. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to find out what I to the 17th is. So 4 goes into 17 4 times and have a remainder of 1. Therefore, I to the 17th power is I. Therefore, 10 times I is 10i. Finally, we have 9i to the 11th. So we need to find out what I to the 11th is. 4 goes into 11 2 times. 4 times 2 is 8. The remainder is 3. Therefore, I to the 11th power is negative I. And negative 9 times negative I is 9i. That is your solution. Imaginary numbers are very straightforward. You just need to know that I is the square root of negative 1, and the cheat code is based on the fact that I squared is negative 1. So all you got to do is when you evaluate powers of I, you take that power, divide it by 4, and find the remainder. And that's what you go by, the remainder. I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed day.